I didn't sleep the half night. In my youth, we did that often. But since I became 50 years, it's not good. If regularities like regular food intake or times of waking up and going to sleep are chaotic. But sometimes we need to work. Things can happen. And then the next night we sleep better again. I'm very much wondering what the yogis mean by never sleeping exactly. In my youth, I had a lot of experiences with what we call astral travels and dreams. I was laying down in bed and fell asleep. But I was awake. Even my body fell asleep. And then I at first started to move out of my crown chakra through the roof of the house and I learned to, let's say, decide where I would fly. Also, I learned to fly at first. It started with a dream, a reoccurring dream, where I was thrown from a cliff, but very, very high one. And always at the end, I was crashed when I fall on the floor. So that I was already, oh no, not again from that cliff. Because I knew that will hurt again. And then one day it was too much, no? And I told myself, okay, now I jump from that cliff, fuck it. I jump now by free will, then it's over sooner, before I tremble more. And that time when I consciously decided, I jump now, I didn't fall to the ground, but I could fly. And I was flying through jungles and I don't know where, the strangest landscapes and so on. But I didn't have it under control. It was. And it took, all in all, about a period of 3 years' time, where it also stopped and then it came again, this astral dreaming, until I could decide consciously to fly and where to fly. And at the beginning, I needed to run and then going up. This was such an adventure. I was always happy. Now I can sleep, I can travel again. I remember that very well. And the last of these astral dreams times was ended with a phase where I was flying in the, not anymore around or in other countries or visiting, watching, I don't know what, but going into space. And I remember that one of this was, I don't know how long anymore. Anyway, I remember the last trip, let's say, astral travel. There I was so far out, the most far out where I've ever been in the universe. And I absolutely did not want it to come back. I was so in bliss. I did not want it to come back. But I came back. I woke up in my body again. I don't remember if it pulled me back or if I decided to come back. I don't remember. Never mind. The next experience was with Yoga Nidra, the sleep of the yogis, which is a tantric meditation and pratyahara technique, where we step out of the contact with our senses. And we are just in the spiritual realm while the body is in deep meditation, deep relaxed state, let's say. And we are then guided to Satyananda Saraswati, who worked a lot with this technique, said it's the doorway to Samadhi. And in this practice also is one of the first deeper experiences where we are connected with the astral realm. Because also directly the samskaras, the subconscious expressions, can show up in forms of pictures, thought, feeling, and they come into our awareness. That's what transforms them, and they are released. This is also a very great purification process in this realm where we are led through by the guru, by the technique, and our sankalpa. The sankalpa is programming of the subconscious, but in a much wiser way than the modern psychological methods, because the sankalpa is given from our own inner depths to us. So it's 100% the right guidance then, the best guidance which is possible. And this has the power to transform our life, because we are, until we are completely conscious, very much guided from the subconscious. And it depends which programs are running there, where man evolves. Yeah, and what I was asking myself is, people who are what we call this completion, completely enlightened saints, do they sleep or do they just rest the body, lay the body down in Shavasana-like and can rest but consciously aware also in sleep all the time? Could be. It just came to my mind. To my belief, a normal human being needs sleep, absolutely. To relax and to digest or the life experiences. Yes, but when one is absolutely 100% conscious and relaxed and in unity consciousness, how they call it, then he might not need to sleep anymore. But maybe he also not travels in death, in death, in sleep. I must ask one time someone who is in this state. I haven't asked yet. How it is then. But I need sleep. And besides the sleep, I found out also I need absolutely movement of the body. It's important. The yogis say, if you don't live in your body where you want to live, so the temple needs to be moved in the right way. There is a right way and a wrong way. I hear them screaming again. This is judgmental. Don't judge. Right, so. But this is not a judgment, this is a fact. Let's call it different. Let's say there is a short way and a long way. Yeah, this doesn't sound so judgmental. No? So there is a right way and a wrong way, or a short way and a long way. For example, everything which is one-sided is not very good adaptive in this field, let's say. Because it's a complementary, and the body is in the complementary structure. So the body needs this complementary activation or movement or whatever, silence and noise. Not really. Let's say movement and stillness. That's a problem with sports. Sports is one-sided. And that's why nearly everybody who did sports, like also me and many people I knew, in later years found some limitations with the sport. But it's no a problem still until we are young, but one day then builds or shows what is the problem in the method. It's one-sidedness. So in the real Hatha Yoga sadhana in asana practice is first of all deblockation of the joints, deblockation of solar plexus and throat, and then moving the prana all over the body, opening up, exercises who opens up. So then directly bringing this energy in flow, sun salutation and Richtige series, for example. It's an absolute ideal sadhana for a healthy body, where all the muscles are trained in an ideal way, where the hormonal system is in perfect balance, the cardiac cycle, and so on and so on. It's absolutely good. Then in addition, pranayama, but only after sitting asana is possible. And usually when one does not smoke is important. Pranayama, expansion of energy. Pranayama, becoming aware of the energy and guiding it. But it's really true that just also the very, very beginner exercises, for example, breath awareness, from the nostrils through the body into the gut, are healing itself. Because the awareness activates the free pranic flow. And this is what heals from the inside. The energy is the healer, the free flow. Yeah. It's so simple and it costs nothing. They don't want you to know that. Or us. I feel myself from a lot of pain now. A lot. I myself by myself. Because during Corona I did not have access to medication. What to do then? I had an accident. There I got help from spiritual healers. The greatest healers I ever came across. What they can do. Unbelievable. Truly miracles. It's no miracle, but for a normal understanding is absolutely a miracle. These two healers, I've been with 3. They can really bring up people from wheelchairs just by the power of the divine, let's say. And I don't know what will be, but this, of course, are ways of healing which are deeply human. Deeply human. And they are very, very old. And they have been suppressed. And I hope they come back. This could help so many people to heal also themselves from pain, from chronic disease, from medications who have several side effects and cause new sicknesses. How many people die from painkillers and wrong medications? So many. So hopefully this corona crisis will also help us as a society to find new or old ways of healing, to empower ourselves. Where does health come from? From our inside? Is it a quality of our body? Is it our body is healthy? Where comes the health from? It comes from the inside, not from the outside. Oh God, the color can change. There's the video quality. I don't have technical equipment to make videos. I don't, so horrible. It's not in real. It's not open anymore. The whole Hatha yoga, I don't know how it's expressed rightly in Sanskrit, and also integral yoga sadhana aims at purification. We just want to release every block, every toxic imposement, and return to the natural state. This is why the yogis or Osho said meditation is a no mind. And no mind is our natural state. Like a child is born, only the child is unconscious. So we don't want to poison ourselves. Now a sentence comes to my mind. It depends on the quantity of the poison. Poison is also not bad by itself in general. The concoction, or how it's called, is what counts. Anyway, highly toxic cocktails are not necessary to become healthy or to stay healthy. I think this is self-evident. And I guess when we see the development in the United States now, that this whole crime will be abolished one day. If the people knew what risk they were put through, the people would not have agreed. This just happened by deception and wrong information. And, of course, pressure. Social and existential pressure. And medicine has again to become independent of that. And more than that, medicine has also to become accessible for everybody. It has. Yeah. Beautiful dreams are not bad. I know people who call me a dreamer and a sinner. And now something happened. I mean, during the Corona crisis, my bottoms were already triggered and pushed, no? And not only mine. With so much censorship and brutality. Anyway, now someone pushed my bottom truly maximum voltage, and the outcome is actually good. The outcome is, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Something, cannot explain that, fell off. It fell off. I don't mind anymore. I don't care somehow. It's gone. It's unimportant. That is huge for me. Because can be someone who takes things very much to their heart. Very much. I have been always kind of very emotional and not rational. But now it's gone. Something released. An emotional pressure also. Emotions have an absolute great role in healing. The biggest. If we see it from the psychosomatics perspective, it's always a trapped emotion beyond the systems. And the moment we can allow this emotion and accept ourselves fully and completely, unapologetically, without judgment, with this emotion, it dissolves. And it often turns in its liberated opposite. Fear into love, anger into compassion, and so on. From dark to light. And the craziest thing is, it costs nothing. It costs us nothing but practicing it. That's why I'm speaking about that. I want to say that because everything has to be bought. And so many people have no money. This is not fair. Yeah. I don't want to complain, but Germany is near to a third world country in the big cities and close to them in the suburbs here. It's unbelievable. It's not, I'm not exaggerating. Never seen so many people homeless. Prices are very, very high. The incomes are very, very low. Yeah. It's a destruction process of the old structure, and renewal is a task. And who will renew our health system? I would wish that the great yoga ashrams we have in Germany, that they would not comply. And the next time, or with the next decision, at least they would overcome this deception and see it clear, and yeah, it's not up in our hands. No? We can, each one of us, only do what we can do the best in our life and sweep in front of our own door. No? And very fortunately, we have a lot of so courageous doctors and lawyers and scientists, so many who had to leave the country or are still punished, but who are more than capable to build up this whole thing in a much better way in a short while, in a short time, as soon they get amnesty and are supported in doing so. No? And to my view, this will happen. No? I don't know when, but when the time is ripe, it will certainly be so. There are enough very capable people who will be able to do so. Yeah. Don't worry. Be happy. To add this at the end, yogis like Satyananda Saraswati worked a lot to bring yoga in the West. And he was convinced that yoga will bring an opening to the West. And many people in the 70s who were influenced by Asian traditions, also here, also in the educational system, believed that we should integrate as an alternative also to the institutional church teachings or Eastern teachings into our educational system. And this is actually a very good idea, no? The same likewise for the medical system. I mean, to break it down easy, we can say who heals as right. What heals people is good and right for them. What heals them on the long run with the best methods is good and right. And it doesn't matter where it comes from. If it's yoga, tai chi, qigong, ho'oponopono, whatever. And of course, for example, for eyes, laser techniques. Russian laser techniques. Yeah, thank you. Or modern dentology. It could be better, but there is a positive development, at least, also. Also chirurgs are sometimes needed, even spiritual healers like the three I've mentioned in the beginning. I don't want to make advertisement. That's why I don't call their names. I don't know if they would find that stupid. Anyway, I would love if many people know about this, because they can also do operations without a scalpel. It's really so. It's not possible? Yes, it is. Why? Because we are not only a physical entity. According to the yogic teaching, we have 7 bodies, or 5. It depends on the tradition. And they make the whole human being. Our physical body is only a part of that. It's a visible part. And there is an invisible correlation to that visible part. And that is where the magic happens. That doesn't mean that also to work on the body is good. When it's coming to healing, we can use everything what works. But that what works and what heals people on the long run, and not that what brings money for some and death to many. No. The methods of this pharmaceutical industry are not good enough. They don't heal enough people. And they've hurt a lot of people. And many people died from this wrong medications. And that is a fact. And they argue, yeah, but there is no better way. Yeah, everybody does his or her best, but there is also a better way, often. Why so many people who were at the end of therapy. In German the word is austherapiert. No medical treatment would work anymore on these people. And they went to alternative healers and they were healed. Or they left the medication and they were healed. How can that be? How is that possible? When it's all not true. At the end, everybody must decide that absolutely, individually and 100% for themselves. And that is also one basic thing, one last thing I say here now. It is very, very important to respect the right of freedom of everybody. Who lives in your body? You. So it's your body. And as long as you are not a child anymore, it's you who can decide over your body. And to protect the child is the job of the parents and not of the government. Yeah, where do I know that from? From nature. Leave a child with the mother and then come and pick the child up and bring it somewhere to the government. The child will scream. They don't want that. It's really crazy what they are planning. It will not happen. The Orwell horror version, Soylent Green, no, it will not happen. Maybe one day I make another video about the prophecies. But now I just wanted to talk a bit about the yogic perspective on sleep, on health, so I've been my whole life very healthy until I had this accident, and I'm still recovering from all, because there were more, as I said, the emotions. It's a process. Healing is a process, but it can happen in 1 minute. That is certain. And the absolutely amazing thing is, as it's our body, we embody it. We have the power. So we are not helpless. We are not helpless. And it doesn't cost a thing. It is so great. And it's simple. I'm not completely healed yet. And also I'm still putting some toxins in my body. A bad habit, which will drop one day, like before. I haven't smoked 12 years. Before, it's in Corona, with the death of my mother, I started again. And then I used it as a painkiller. And it's quite okay because it's a plant. Mother Nature has a plan for every sickness. One just has to know them. And we knew it. We knew that all. And we were deprived of it through history, Inquisition, and so on. We cannot expect the solution from the whole solution, from the people who have deprived us from all. But there should be, and this is what Osho always emphasized on, a synthesis. We have to overcome the fighting. We have to overcome the fight. And the fight is inside, it starts. With inside our own mind. And as soon as we start to fight, we start a separation, we start the other, we start our own isolation, and that is the decay. And that is really true. How to stop fighting. The yogis say when the samskaras are dissolved, when there's no more karma, it stops, it drops by itself, by nature. This I can confirm. But awareness is a tool where we can help this process of dissolving patterns, blocks, our mind that separates us, that creates a separation. So Osho said it's a complementary. The day is not fighting the night, vice versa. They walk hand in hand. They are one whole. And this is where Osho said, acceptance is the key. That does not mean to endure any kind of treatment, slavery, and so on. To my view, this endure everything teaching, karma yoga, is a very hard task. Satyananda said it's the hardest task. To endure all these injustice which can happen to us, and learning not to react, learning not to create new karma, learning not to be drowned in one's own karma by meditation. What else? 50 minutes. Enough? Yeah, that is a good end of the video. I'm tired. I go to sleep now. Sleep is very essential for our health. In sleep we can recover. And this is the last part, because stress and stress-related symptoms and sicknesses are not small or little in the Western societies. Heart and lung diseases belong to death cause number 1, I think, or 2 at least. And the heart diseases are very, very in a high percentage caused by stress. The same goes to all the back pains and so on. The burden is simply too big. The expectations which many people believe they have to fulfill to survive or to not hurt others. And we all know too much stress over a very long time leads to imbalance in the nervous system. Then people get stuck in stress mode, let's say, fight, flight, or freeze, and then the damage is done, but it can be rebalanced. This imbalance can be rebalanced. Basically, if we stop everything that causes the imbalance, balance is already starting to restore by itself. Because balance is the natural state. Day and night together and not in fight with each other. Like our solar and lunar channels and energies in the body. They have to be in balance. Then the nervous system is healthy. Then the gut is healthy, and so on and so forth. And in that case, sleep and also relaxation plays a vital role. And both cost nothing. So many people in Germany are overweight. I'm still underweight. But I, for the first time in my life, understand these people now. Because now I know how hard it is to get out of such an imbalanced state. If we stayed in it too long. And then the older we get, the harder it is to switch. But we know that 21 days are enough to change a habit. So if one truly, really wants it, one can consciously choose to change habits that cause imbalance, simply. And oh wonder, balance restores. It's a decision we have to take. Now the parents are no more. We are the grown-ups and we have to do the right thing with our lives. And there is a right way and a wrong way, or a short way and a long way. Just wanted to share this. And I also go in front of this cam without makeup and without styling, still truly with intention. Of course I can style myself. You see a different picture. This plastic fantastic, no? KI has really some great advantages and we could do a lot of good stuff with it, like with every technique. It all depends in which hands it is, for what is it used and why. Yeah, and many people are now certain that all will be well in Germany soon. And many people are convinced, no, that was just the start. Now the hammer is coming. If it has to get worse, to get to the catastrophe, that is the turning point, then it has to be so. No? Hopefully it's not so, but we will see now. We will see now what happens this year. What is clear is that the truth is coming out now. That is no more the question. The question is more, what are the consequences of that truth? Normally they need to be good, no? The truth is good. Again, I forgot, there is no good and bad, no? It's not true. In this material realm, there is, of course, good and bad. The question is not if there is good and bad. The question is, how do we deal with them? How do we deal with the good and the bad? What do we do with this pharma mafiosi? Do we allow that on and on and on, that they kill people with their irresponsible greed? Or do we find the courage to say, no, we will not allow this. We will protect the children, we will protect the old people. This will not be happening anymore and any further. And the more people who will say this, of course everybody knows this, the sooner all will be well. But everybody says, oh, I am just so small. I cannot do anything. And that is not true. You are just so important. If someone should listen now, I'm talking to you. You are important. And your health matters. You matter, your health matters. And you are not alone. There are so many people now. They say, they woke up. Political information has nothing to do with spiritual awakening. Spiritually awakened people have a very good intuition, and so they could usually comprehend if something's wrong, even they don't know anything about politics. But in general, these are two different states. Being politically informed and being spiritually awakened are two different states. I don't believe in a mass awakening, if I'm honest. People are so easily to be manipulated, we have seen that. And they are so easily to be scared. How, with such weaknesses, we can be empowered? And these weaknesses are sold to us as the greatest strength. The best we could do. Yeah. To walk to our own grave, no? Yeah. One day we all leave. That is so. That's not about what I was talking. I was talking about human ways of healing, human ways of living. To end this inhuman way of living together, of treating sick people, of treating children. It's all not necessary. This world is so rich and has so many riches. This is also a very big lie. The world is overpopulated. It's not true. I cannot answer many things. But I'm telling myself, yeah, I'm not telling myself anything. I have luckily a sort of inborn trust that all will be well. Anyhow, all will be well. However, we don't, it's not, in Germany, it's not yet to be seen that all will be very well, not soon. This could take seriously 5 or 10 years before everything can become well again in this land. Or we have luck, it goes quicker. I did not want to stop this video with my suggestions or prophecies. We cannot really 100% know the future. It's not possible. Prophecy here, prophecy there. Partly they say something different. The only thing they all say is at the end, everything will be well. Let's hope that. A lot of people died. A lot more than normally, usually. And that not because of Corona. Even the health minister Lauterbach said in the German television, in the evening public television, in the year 24 already, or 25. It's some time ago already. He said they are sorry. Corona is a mild infect. They did not know. They are sorry. Oh, ja. Das steht ihm gut. Yeah, you killed someone, then you say, well, I'm sorry. What else can he say now? Sorry doesn't help. Sorry doesn't bring the dead people back. We don't need anybody's apologies. We are not. What means we are not? I don't belong to the people who judge others. And I also don't belong to the people who condemn others. But I belong to the people who say any kind of murder should be please stopped from doing so. And with this Middle Ages karma shit, they can also kiss my ass, to say it honestly. It's the same like the Christian institution says. Because somebody is guilty, they deserve. Who deserves what? Yeah, their soul needs to learn, to evolve, and this is why they have to be punished. Really? Is that what the Buddhas and the enlightened ones teach? No. This is nämlich truly bullshit. No? Because when you do it like that, it's also written in the Old Testament like that, cheek by cheek. When you do it like that, you are in a vicious cycle who can never stop. Someone has to stop it, someone has to step out of this cycle, and so peace is restored. Yeah, everybody must know on which side one wants to stand. That is crucial now. Crucial for the survival. Indeed. Do we want the truth, love and light and unity and peace? Or do we want separation, hatred, war and endless disaster? But certainly also these are cosmic events. Cosmic karmic cycles, national karmas, family karmas, whatsoever karmas, and yeah. But as human beings, we can step out of these vicious cycles. We have the ability to forgive. We have the ability for compassion. We have the ability not to judge and so not to need to punish. What doesn't mean that there is no right and no wrong. Or no short and no long. And certainly also we are allowed to protect ourselves from any kind of inhuman treatment or punishment, no matter what our karma might have been, to be confronted then with certain situations. When we are conscious, we can step out. We can choose with whom we want to get in contact, which life circumstances we can create. As soon as we become conscious, we become the co-creator. And then we are empowered, then we decide over our life. Then we are not a slave anymore who has to work for any boss, for any ridiculous money. Then we are able to create our own life from our own ground, from our own work, hands, feet, and whatsoever. That is so. And then, for the first time, we become also empowered to create our own health and body. Only then. But we have to learn how to do this, and we have to be very, very conscious to be able to do this. Because I experience now many years maximum pain and maximum bliss. I was falling really from heaven in hell, from heaven in hell, and it's also very exhaustive. Yes. Because I've been in the meditation so far already, but my physical form was not anymore possible to hold the energy. And then when Kundalini is blocked in certain chakras, this can cause a lot of pain. And normally one must be with the yogis now, because they know the ways how to deblock this. And when we've done such a bullshit for a longer time, it takes also a while until we manage to blow our channels free again. and to truly adapt again to the balanced and right way of life. And then the healing happens, inevitably, I would say. Or it's really a karmic block. When in that way healing cannot happen, I would say, then it's truly something from a past life which needs to be addressed and overcome and or faced. And one one always, that's a fact, one has to learn the lesson of the pain before it will before it leaves. And I'm very happy now, it's not 100% left. But I'm very happy now that I got the message. My body is giving me the whole time. I got the message since 1 year clear, but now clearer than clear. And when we get the message, the problem wants to give us, then it can drop. It's obvious. And what means problem? That is also very essential to my view. Our body, no matter how it looks, acts, operates, whatever, is not a problem. Our body is the temple. And when in the temple something is not right, then we have to acknowledge that. What is it? And heal it, if possible. So, sickness actually is always a very healthy reaction. Sickness is a healthy reaction. Action of our body on something that has hurt our soul. So simple, so very simple. Yeah, I not need to explain the whole psychosomatic teaching. It's known. Everybody knows it. But what not everybody knows is that these Buddhist meditations and many yogic techniques actually are very, very, very healing. And one can heal oneself with them by oneself without money. And that was the basic reason why I wanted to talk about that also as well. I started with sleep, I know, but I wanted also to talk about this. Like sleep, they cost us nothing, these methods. And I'm very sure that many people don't know that, and maybe you knew that and you have also friends who know that, but if you don't, and you have people you know who have chronic pains, for example, you can tell it to them. There is a way. Because we have a lot of healers. But the healers also have to live. So these very good healers I was talking about, they work for, it's a joke what they can do and what they charge for that. And that is something really everybody can pay if one wants these treatments. This is affordable by everybody, for everybody here in Germany who is still on his or her feet, I would say. No? For people who really are frustrated, or how we say that, who are really finished, maybe they even can't pay that. No? And as I said, it is very cruel to say these people are worthy of healing and these people are not worthy of healing. Who can say such things? Honest question. How can one say that one is worthy of healing and the other not? Because of any past lives mistakes? Because otherwise they can't learn? Really? This is beautiful story of Ubuntu from an African tribe. When somebody made a mistake, they put him in a circle and they all tell him what they love of this person. What are his good traits? To make him good again. Okay. What do we do with the hardcore people who are really hurting others and never stop? Then maybe then self-protection is allowed. Certainly. Not everybody is a Buddha who can transform the hardest criminals into saints. For us normal people, it's very much allowed to set boundaries. Not in a bad way, not in a separating way, but in a saving and protecting way. So that were just my latest insights on sleep and health. Now, I wish you whatever, a beautiful day or a good night, sweet dreams, sleep well. Blessing is also very good. I bless my sleep, I bless my health, I bless you, I bless your good night. Yeah, we can bless ourselves. We can speak lovingly with ourselves. To love ourselves is absolutely essential. There are two ways of spiritual teachings. The one, they say, they are called the small and the big car or so. One say you start realizing God by loving others. And the others say you start realizing by loving yourself. And I guess it's according to the psychology or characteristics or biggest talents of some of the people, what's the fitting way? Which way fits one best? Like who is Prem, Diane or Dave? Osho gave these prefixes not by accident. Likewise, some yogis, they go directly to the Advaita, others are Hatha yogis, others are bhaktis. In integral yoga we practice it all together, but one has one's preferences. According to easy is right, what is the most easy is the right thing to do. One thing is but also clear, nobody can give from an empty well. Yeah, the bhaktis say the seva trains us. It trains us to I don't know, everybody must do this as we want. Also on the spiritual path, we are not a slave. We are not a slave. And the real master can be questioned. We are allowed to ask him questions. Certainly. And he will not condemn us for nothing. He will not play the big guy and we are the small stupid assholes. No. A real master will never do that. And there you can, is one really criteria for a go or a stop. How these so-called masters behave. And everybody finds what is appropriate to his or her own inner state. And after you had a guru like Osho, a master like Osho, you cannot go back to the Catholic Church usually, for example. That is then not possible anymore. Because we don't match their conditioning. Because we worked our half-life very hard to get rid of it. We can see then these guys as tests also, or maybe triggers, but not as our master. Anyway, with the guru, in a way, it's the same like with a lover or with a doctor. The right one is the one we trust. We can trust fully and completely. Trust is of utmost importance if we give our body or our life, even our health or our heart in someone else's hands, or let's say how to say that? You know what I mean, I guess. If we give someone influence, let's say, to do something with us, no matter if it's our body, our mind, or our heart. There should be this from the first moment on. Because it's usually nothing which is developed. It is there or not there. It can develop, certainly, 100%. But if it's just there, then it's perfect, let's say. And for my experience, it is so, if it's there, then it will not be betrayed. Because that is the law of attraction. If it's real, it's directly responded, there is direct resonance, and then it's the right match. But if we have to, let's say, push it, or it starts with an imbalance, or if it starts with incomplete trust, or a half love, or uncertainty and doubt, yeah, then that is another quality, no? Yeah, which can certainly be overcome by time, but which is more often disappointed than not. Because it's just a bad energy. So if your intuition tells you you trust a doctor 100%, then usually it's the right doctor. But if you then found out that your doctor betrayed you, he was not so knowledgeable as you thought, or not so good from his character as you thought, then it's right to draw the consequences. And to say, no, this doctor, I will not go to this doctor anymore. I can also go to others who can help me to heal. There is more than this pharmaceutical way of healing, is what I wanted to say again. And I hope not only someone listens here now who so or so knows that all, because then it's certainly boring. No. For many people, this knowledge is standard, but there are also a lot of people who truly don't know these things. Okay. Good night, or a beautiful day.